Okay, I was about to do another boombox, but I found this, I guess an old school boombox, before cassette probably even existed, or I guess it may have existed. Well, cassette was made in, what, about 63, I think it was invented, but it didn't really hit until the 70s. It's actually in very nice condition, besides a bit of dirt. I assume it's transistorized. It says transistor, so it's probably not that much earlier than cassette. Off-on headphone socket. Tuning knob, very nice. Gold trim on the chrome knobs. Outright nice looking unit actually. We've got the local radio stations for all the states. But the question is, what's it like inside? Has a battery obliterated it? But I never have got around to having a look at this. I think it only cost me $5 or something, so at a market thing, so I thought I might as well grab it. Oh, it's like mint, I think. Oh, it's got one of those horrible random... I better find out what sort of battery it is, I guess, because I forget what voltage they are, and I'm not sure this tells you. Cruise brand, made by Frank Carew & Co, Preston, Victoria. PVC material, so I assume they made the cases for these things. And this one's proper circuit board in it. I must find, I've got the remains of another one. What's this, an Astor? I think it's HMV, the other one. But it actually has this weird chassis in it with transistors mounted in little grommets, I think they were, in a metal chassis like they were valves. It was a really strange kind of thing, but we've got the good old, what's it called, an Odeon. Germanium transistors. CETX electrolytic, so there's still a Ducon capacitor in here, probably still around the time some of this was made in Australia. Well, this would have been made in Australia, I assume. Like most Australian things, doesn't actually say it was made here. But if it's still at the Australian radio stations, even though of course you could get anyone to print them up. Got a roller speaker. I think Philips ended up taking them over and they became part of Plessey. Do they have a date on them or anything? They got all sorts of numbers on them, but I don't think they relate to the date, or not in any readable code. There's no transformer, so we can't get a date off that. Sometimes it'll be on the chassis or something. We do have one of those Arts labels by the look of it. Arts and P. So you still had to have a license for your radio back then, even for this little thing. Beautiful big ferrite rod in there. And we've got 1, 2, 3, I need probably the audio, 4, oh no, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 transistors. Wow, this is one for the big spenders back then, I guess. Massive tuning capacitor. None of these little compact plastic things you got in your transistor radios. I mean, look at this crazy, looks like part of a Meccano set or something. The tuning dial and pulleys and gears and stuff. Crazy really, but beautifully built. On an aluminium chassis. Still got someone's fingerprints down in there, a bit of copper there for, oh, that's for holding your battery, so we've got an idea what the battery is, because it's, I think it's one of those big square, I think they were 9 volt, but see, they don't even tell you anything on this about voltage. You would just assume that you bought your ever ready whatever type number battery, and you just open it up, I guess, and knew what went in there. Probably in the instruction book, I guess, which I don't have. Does it give a date? Radio license is necessary. I thought they had at least some date on them. If it does, it's faded away. There's possibly something in red print faded away there, but I could be wrong. 1414 90/15, I think might have been the part number or something. 55 4000. No idea. Might be on one of the website things of what date this was made in. It's kind of like cardboard in there. I guess the PVC or vinyl is just the coating on the outside. And then there's cardboard and some sort of, is that leathery stuff or is it more cardboard? I think it's mostly stiff cardboard with this outer PVC frame which has something under it, or vinyl coated. Nice stitching in it. It looks very close to leather. PVC material. Yeah, they got a little thread thing around there, so they must have been the people that stitched it all together. Yeah, quite well made. So I need to find out, I need to look in an old catalogue or something, see what sort of battery we need. And whether it's, am I safe to put 9 volts in there? I probably shouldn't. There's a 12 volt capacitor in there, which probably indicates it will be 9 volts, but they're all rated at 12 volts. It'd have to be 9 volts, wouldn't it? Should I live dangerously? And it's got to be 6 or 9 volts or something like that. I guess it wouldn't be any less, I don't think. I don't know, maybe I should start on 6 volts. And if that doesn't blow it up, maybe go up to 9 volts. At least we know the polarity. Are we on? No. Well, we're doing something, so it must be at least 6 volts is getting it going. Oops. While it stays connected. I can't remember some of these batteries were. See, I'm pretty sure they're all 9. Besides those lantern batteries. Some of these channels are probably still here. Ooh. That's HT. Got to be working. There's something. Sport of some sort. Where's the other ABC gone? Are we going up the band or down the band? And ZL's down there, ZR, so that should be down the band, so it goes backwards basically. I'm guessing that's ZR. We don't have any sort of external antenna. We have me. I wonder if I should go up a bit in voltage. Let's make it a bit louder. That's probably more like it. It's on 9 volts.
You did the previous lenses that looked bemused, splashed, and then I was all over. Oh well, it was a nice experiment. This is
ZL.
Never going to work. Back to the car park. Then we did the opening night, and it just completely.
So 7ZL still in the same spot. And we should have 7ZR. Go up there. Close, it's a little bit off. An HT maybe? Yeah, HT should still be going, I think, unless I'm wrong.
Penalty. Just the run in from 80. time where we had to do a writing test. Well, my first drama class at school.
Oops.
And not the musical, just the animal. I walked around. If they're doing this in school, this is a thing you should maybe know. And it was the most fun I'd ever had. It was very simple, I don't know. I mean, I imagine things all the time, I don't know why that was so different. But I think the fact that school was like legitimizing this kind of make-believe felt very powerful to me, and I felt like someone else. And I was a kid, I had a lot of issues, and so I was happy to be anyone else. You know, very happy to be someone else for a while. And then about in year 8 or 9, we had to write a little monologue, write a 2-minute monologue for the class, and everyone had to do it.
Oh, that's Earth, that's antenna. I'm a moron.
Or surgeons or cowboys. I got up and did a 5-minute piece that was 2 characters because I wanted to change the form of the monologue. I was a father and son discussing the fact that the father has had to educate his son from the Mormon church because he doesn't believe in Mormonism.
Oh, it's just a lot of rubbish. No, I think I'm just picking up a lot of digital rubbish.
To get up and cry in front of the class. Well, I did, yeah. Was it a family of entertainers? My mother was a major entertaining force. Like a huge void.
Well, fascinating.
Towards the box. A strike over the bar. It's opened up instantly off the back of that then, and Mary Fowler trying to seize that advantage. They couldn't keep the shot down. While Spriggy
Off. Hey, dial's wobbling around a bit in there, I think. I can't even get to the pot to clean it. Ah, it's right, big pot under there. Well, it looks like I've got to take the circuit board out, but I guess we might as well have a quick look in here while we're at it. But yeah, not surprisingly, it still works. Not sure it's the best, but it still does work, and especially when you put the proper 9 volts in it that it obviously needs to get some decent volume and to pick up some of the stations. Out you come. There's another screw there somewhere, always under the wiring. Interesting to see if it's got the old blue masking on the tracks. A lot of these old 60s sort of era stuff seem to have a brown circuit board with blue instead of the green lacquer stuff they put over it. It had blue. At least that's my memory of it. And it's just a plain boring board. Still no dates that I can see anywhere. Opt 7-3 or something. Simplex capacitor, I think they were locally made ones as well. They used to make all the mica caps, I think. Not a really good job having a wire next to the knob where it can rub. What do we got up there? There's an inductor up in there somewhere. Oh, though that's probably the switch that's making most of the noise, but we'll give that a squirt. Probably have to pull the switch apart and clean the contacts in it or something. Oh, I've got a stamp on there, but can't read anything. Quality control of some person probably, so that only the factory would know anyway. But yeah, 2 little transistors on a heatsink, or a little heatsink each, sitting on an output transformer. So they're not that far removed from the valve tech of the day. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 IF cans. What did I say? 8 transistors, that's quite a bit. but it's got like a 2 transistor output stage, certainly adds at least one, because these were made to be a decent sounding radio, basically more like a mantle radio almost, a home one as well as a portable, though it doesn't have any way of hooking power up to it for the home use. It'd be a bit expensive, but they probably had battery eliminators, of course, like we still do. That's a bit better, I think.
Ship for sure there, trying to throw off.
56 play. Australia, Ireland nil at Stadium.
There it is. I think I can hear HT. There. Yeah, they're definitely, I can hear them, something on the outside. They're calling the horse racing, so 7HT still there. So 3 radio stations. Local ones are still in the same spot. HA's gone to HOFM now. See if this guy's still going on about his life experience. Oh, there.
I found myself in that position and I became
He sure is.
a legal transcriptionist. So I was writing down police interviews before a court case.
Fascinating.
It's a big pivot for the way they played the first half, and they've set up really well to defend against Australia, frustrate them, keep players behind the ball. When they get these set piece opportunities like they've got now.
Yeah, so that's a nice little radio. And still a worker, not surprisingly. They don't make them like they used to, as they say. And how they used to make them was they went forever, but they did cost you a fortune in the first place, so you'd hope so. Given how much of a week's wages would have gone on this thing, if not more than a week's wages. Yeah, lovely little design to it, so it's about time I tested that. Quite a lovely little unit. There's a couple of other ones of these similar things, I think, kicking around here somewhere. But since it was in the way of a boombox, I thought now's my chance to at least plug it in and test it out. And of course, it doesn't even have a model number, does it? Nothing. No make, no, nothing to say where it was made, serial, model, nothing. Not even on the inside. So there you go. But at least it did have an external earth and antenna. I forgot they used to hide them in the screws like that. Not that it does much good at the moment. I'll have to take this outside and try it, or at least I really should run a AM antenna of some sort. I guess string a bit of wire somewhere, even if it's a bit of fencing wire or something will do. Got plenty of that. String it up between a couple of trees. Maybe I should just hook it to the fence. Might do the job. Insulated off the posts. Yeah, nice little radio. I guess I should at least clean a bit of the muck off it. Always got to clean them up at the end, especially that amount of filth. That's awful. That's been collecting dust somewhere for a long time. Yeah, it's a lovely little unit, and like I said, I think it only cost me $5 or something, which is an absolute steal, really, for something in that condition. But it would probably suit a radio collector more than me, but I do like having a few of these old things around again just to look at, since they're really not something I'm going to use. I mean, you can hear how boring AM radio is these days. I think it's nearly died off completely, even from its long-term listeners now, so unless you want a horse racing, sport, or yeah, we won't comment on the other one. Boredom. Endless talk back about nothing. I think they did used to cover a bit of useful stuff, but unfortunately I'm hearing from people that have been lifelong listeners that they don't listen anymore because it's just too bland. So the poor old AM bands may not be long for this world. That is amazingly clean for something of its age. A few spots of something on there. That all seems to come off. I mean, it might need a little bit more of a scrub in a few places. Yeah, it really wants, ideally you'd take this whole bit off, I think, and oh god, look at the stuff on the knob. That really has been collecting dust on top of it for a while. It's probably sat on someone's shelf in their kitchen or somewhere. It might have been in a shed or something, I guess, but this looks in quite good nick, like it's been sitting in someone's house. Somewhere nice and dry and not damp or anything. Somewhere that's kept heated and all the rest. I'm pretty sure the Falcon XP Falcon hubcap at the time looked something a lot like that. That's for some reason reminding me of that. Oh, they're a little bit different. I think they had a rim around them, but yeah, that was the kind of style that day. Oh, I should have cleaned the glass a bit better. I guess I didn't even really bother. I went around the edges. And it probably ideally would want taken out of the case. To be fair, that's surprisingly clean in there. It's amazingly clean. It's got a few little dings on it there, or is that just a bit of muck on it? No, I think it's just some greasy stuff on it. Wow. Yeah, it's almost mint condition, that thing. Oh, I didn't really clean up around there, but anyway. That'll do for now. Thanks for watching.